Hi, I'm Keegan, and this is A Bunch of Gamers. This is our 195th episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition, The Blood Sigils. I'm going to go around and have my players introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Cora. She's an Aruna in the Get of Fenris.
Hi, I'm Adam. I play Mark Guides the Fallen, and he's a third of the Children of Gaia.
Hello, my name is Riley, and I am playing Dimitri Howls-In-Memory, Lupus Galliard of the Bone Gnawers.
Hi, my name is George. I am playing William Grows-Matrices. He is a rune of the Glasswalkers.
Last time, the Pax finished their battle with Minotaur and confronted Natalie Davis, aka Samuel Haight. Killing her in the Umbra, Cora returned only for Natalie's vast number of explosives to go off, destroying parts of Calhan and sending the state into a frenzy. The Pax returned, dealing with Banes, and now have some time to train themselves and prepare for their next mission. However, once their training is done, Dimitri has taken notice of a few things. Alright, and so we're doing training times, and the highest training time is with Mark at 110 days. The rest of you are doing things, moving out. I know Kyle is going to visit Sven, which is in New York City. You guys can do a quick cutaway to that as well. And then we will jump to October the 9th, but some key things have happened around the world. The first thing is there was a massive riot in New York City that started to conglomerate around Central Park. It is one of the largest riots in U.S. history since the coal mine strikes against the Pinkertons, though you gain word from Shadow Dagger that this was a front by the Black Spiral Dancers who attacked the Green and attempted to kidnap Sven. The Silver Pack have moved Sven and have left the Green as of July 12th. July 25th, with growing trade anxieties and economic turmoil, America has chosen to soothe, in big air quotes, the American people as they have declared war with China, saying that the pretext for the war is that Chinese actors had performed cyber attacks and information warfare to redirect normal people's economic anxieties on American institutes rather than bad trade policies with China. The United States has been at war for some time now as things continue on the Pacific front, and while the news has been carrying rather rosy terms of what's been going on, there seems to be a pervading anxiety with various military bases in Colorado Springs as there are roadblocks of higher brass members coming to talk to Air Force Academy and Fort Carson, as well as things happening now on Schriever Air Force Base or Schriever Space Force Base and the like. So, will you guys be joining Kyle to visit Sven?
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
I would
All right.
I would like to.
All right, roll. I need the highest charisma investigation to try and figure out where the Silver Pack went.
And I'm busy training, so that's why I figured these guys are doing it themselves.
Yeah,
Okay.
So.
I've got 7 dice.
You said charisma investigation?
Yep.
Okay, that's not me.
So it is you, Dimitri.
All right. I'm sorry, what was that difficulty again?
We're gonna go diff 8. They did not want to be found.
All right.
All right.
2 successes.
Asking across Seps, you guys travel across the country before you find out that Sven has been spirited away to the Sept of the Stars in the astral realm of the Umbra to be hidden amongst the Temple of the Stargazers, at least temporarily. Through travel, can I get the highest Gnosis roll? Diff 7. I need a cumulative 5 successes. It is you,
I got
Sam.
8.
Yeah, we know it's you. I was looking right at you. We all knew it was you.
You said the diff is diff 8?
Yes, you need to get a total of 5 successes to represent the spirit journey.
2,
How many rolls do I have?
You gotta roll one more, and this represents about 2 weeks of travel. Another 2 weeks of travel.
I'm demoralized.
I imagine so. You still got a couple more as you're trying to do your spiritual best.
Yeah, I am.
There we go.
You finally get to the
Jesus.
Sept of the Stars, and you are lucky. One more week, and Sven would have moved on, getting taken out of this place.
So demoralized.
Sven is getting big. He is a goodly 6'6" in his Krynos form. Has yet to go through his first change.
Aw,
I think he's only 2.
okay.
Like,
Fair.
give the boy a chance.
No, it's a sympathetic awe, not like a disappointed awe. Like, oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry, because he wants to go through his first change so much.
Sorry you can't go through puberty faster, bud. I'd help you if I could.
Yeah, I guess if he was born human, I guess he'd be like around what, 10, maybe 12.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, he's
So,
about
I mean-
he's about 6.5 feet, maybe 7, as he runs up and gives you big old hugs.
Of course he does. Cora will look at him, like hold his face, and are they treating you well? Are you eating?
He nods and gives a wolfish grin.
How funny.
He is starting to put on muscle mass, and how, even for being a little Krynos. He is built, and he has muscles upon muscles already.
Good job.
How's everything been going? Traveling a lot, seeing the country and everything else.
Yeah, we were at the Green for a while, but, well, the spirals came. They tried to take me. One was saying that I'd be an instrument for the worm's freedom.
In their eyes, yes. The worm to us is bad, and you need to remember that.
But if the worm is trapped, and it being trapped is what's bringing it pain and making it the way it is, would freeing it make it balance again?
I don't know if freeing it would make it balance, but it would allow it to run free and wild. Both situations are not beneficial to us. What we need to do is deal with the issue at hand.
Well, think about it like this then. The Weaver trapped the worm, and the worm, trying to break free, got very sick, became corrupted. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people probably think differently, but I don't think that freeing the worm would take that sickness or corruption away.
But if you keep getting cut, how can you be expected to heal?
I mean, that can be said to us as well. As Gaian warriors, Gaia herself, we're constantly getting cut and hurt and bruised by not just the worm, but the Weaver as well.
The Garu here seem to think that the Weaver is the true enemy.
Stagnation is an enemy, because without evolution and adaptation, we continue to just be. We can't grow. But at the same time, the worm is, from my understanding, a way of caution, disease, and plague. You don't want that, but they exist.
I guess it just... The Garu here just say so many things that make sense in a way that some of the others don't. And I know the spirals are bad. I can see it and smell it on them. But they're bad because they're pus from a wound to show us where the rot is.
Dimitri will add in and say, well, I guess in one way, the worm's corruption is like I said, a sickness, a cancer. And, when someone has a cancerous tumor, a doctor will remove the tumor. Now, I guess one way to look at it is that if the worm is set free, maybe as it is, it doesn't want to be treated or doesn't realize how sick it is.
Okay, I think I understand.
But there's many people have different opinions on it, Sven. Like the stargazers feel like the Weaver is the enemy. Other Garu might disagree.
This topic has been hotly debated for many of years, so it does not look like there is one true answer. But you are definitely on the right path of questioning what is and is not right to keep the topic at the forefront of everyone's mind. I just caution your word choice so that others do not think you as a worm sympathizer or somebody who will fall and dance the spiral.
I understand. It's good to see you. All of you. I missed you all.
We missed you too.
That's why we came.
As the Silver Pack goes, we have to leave now. We do not wish to bring any potential danger to the Sept. We have to keep moving because the spirals are now more on the hunt than they've ever been.
Of course.
Understood.
It's understandable. Dimitri is going to go and give Sven a big hug.
Sven gives Dimitri a big hug back.
Be safe, Sven.
I will. All right. So you guys head back. October 6th, 2025. While watching the news, William, you find out that the United States Supreme Court has revoked all state constitutional measures to remove all slavery, as it contradicts the letter of the amendment they seek to subvert regarding slavery being allowed as a way to be a punishment for a crime.
So, Keegan, I want to make sure that I heard this correctly. It is now legal because they removed an amendment.
No. So here's the thing. No, the United States Constitution about slavery, the abolishment of slavery. There is a loophole that says you can make someone a slave temporarily, essentially, as part of a punishment for a crime. Several states across the United States have amended their own constitutions to remove that loophole. That loophole was kept in California in this last election cycle. The Supreme Court has determined that closing that loophole is unconstitutional because the constitutional amendment specifically calls out it being a punishment of a crime as acceptable. Thus, they have voided all those state constitutional amendments, not the U.S. constitutional amendment.
Got it. So basically, they're dragging a couple states backwards to continually allow that said loophole.
As the United States has now passed that anyone suspected of being held on or being convicted of terrorist charges, it will be sent to munition factories to work on chemicals for munitions in the ongoing conflict with China. Anyway, Mark has completed his right training, and it is now October the 9th. So, what is it y'all want to do? What are you looking to do? What are you going to try and do?
The raid of the Sept of the Green caught my interest as a player because, who knows, there might be some residual things occurring there because if they're after the child, then they probably pulled out a lot of full stops and there could be some residual effects occurring. You know what I mean? Maybe some weird stuff's happening with the kin there.
Sure.
But I would like to address that with the packs.
Sounds good. Dimitri, being on the streets, you do notice more of those strange sigils kind of written all over the city as graffiti, but if you walk by them in lupus form, especially in your Guise of the Hound, they definitely smell of blood.
Could I figure out what those symbols mean, possibly?
Possibly. You would have to succeed in Intelligence Occult Diff 9.
Alright, so that's 7 dice. Well, it's not a botch.
Sure isn't, so you're not sure.
could I try to see if maybe there's a scent trail I could follow?
It's hard because they're put in pretty high traffic areas, so there's lots of people moving along in these areas. It's all within the city proper.
Okay. In that case, I will just get a good look at the symbol I'm looking at, or symbols, and then I'll turn to the nearest Thurge I know, which just so happens to be Mark, and I'll try and find him.
Where is Mark after doing all of his right stuff? Just hanging around the Sept, waiting for folks, or what's the deal?
I'd imagine Mark coming back from his training, he returned to his duties he has to the kin because he has resources now.
Got it.
So it's kind of like he has like obligations to the kin, and he would be doing that.
Okay, so Mark is moving along and helping build some new raised beds down in Old Colorado City. There, Dimitri.
Okay. All right. Dimitri will go up to Mark then and say, "Hey, Mark, I need help understanding a symbol that I found in town, because it smelled like blood, and it was in a high traffic, and it was in a pretty busy area, so I wasn't able to really nail down a scent trail."
That is interesting. Could you all be able to finish up here?
They nod, yeah. As they're like, yeah, we can help. We can finish it up. We understand.
Thank you so much. Guys, blessings be upon you. And he'll be away with Dimitri. Show me the first symbol you saw.
Are we pretty far from one of the symbols, or?
Yeah, like most of them are in the Colorado Springs proper. There are a few in Old Colorado City that you've seen now. So you can take it to the closest one. It takes a couple hours, though, to walk.
Okay. I was going to say, I also have I can spend a Gnosis to use Perfect Recall, and then I can just draw it for him.
You can do that, too, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. Save us a few hours. But yeah, Dimitri is going to draw a few of the symbols that he's seen, and ask, what do you think these are?
And Mark will make his intelligence occult roll.
All right, Diff 9. The best you can guess, you remember seeing these once in some of your older studies. And if you remember correctly, this seems to be related to some of the odder occultic things of specifically, this looks like it's Adenian, which was the language supposedly spoken, according to the Bible and the Torah, the language of Adam and Eve before the Tower of Babel created all the other languages. But what it says, you're not entirely sure.
I'll relate this idea and this similarity between this and where have you been finding these symbols? Has it just been anywhere, or specifically, has there been a pattern?
It's been around Colorado Springs, and some parts of this city as well.
Can you remember what buildings they're on? Like banks, businesses, if they're institutions of some kind?
They are on various buildings across downtown, especially. So businesses, banks, homes that people are furiously trying to scrub away at and are frustrated at how difficult it is to get the paint of this symbol off their fences and things like that is what you've seen. You've also had to move around with some homeless folk because they were blamed for the spray paint before cops showed up. Luckily, a bear prevented the worst damage happening to any kind of tents and things like that. The homeless people were able to pack up and come back after the police were horribly mauled.
I'm sorry, the bear mentioned.
Steven's the real MVP.
Bears just really hate pigs.
Dimitri will say it. As far as I can tell, it appears to be random. It's businesses, fences, houses, banks. I've had to help Sven move the homeless people around because they get blamed for it and the cops get called on them.
Well, that could be cause for even more concern because there's nothing specific, no patterning. It could just be a blanket targeting of whatever this symbol means. We definitely need to speak with someone that's more knowledgeable than me in this. Perhaps an elder Thurge back at the cairn.
Maybe. I mean, if it's this ancient language that you mentioned, I'm pretty sure William has a library card.
Oh, you're right. We could use that.
And I know, and Cora could probably help us look in the library as well. You know, more eyes.
Oh, well, it has been quite a while since I've seen everybody. I think we just found our new mission.
All right, well, if you want to go find Cora, I'll go find William and we'll meet at the Sept. Or let's meet at the library.
All right.
And so, you guys all gather up. You're at the library. You're getting the stink eye from the librarians, from several of the children who are coming here on a school trip, and several of the teachers. And you just know that someone's got the police on speed dial if you breathe funny in your research.
Oh, that's right. It's because I have 10 temp rage.
Cora will let's not use the computers. Last time we used computers at a library, it didn't end well. No computers. Let's just look at the books. Or ask a librarian.
Oh.
So what am I doing here then, if we're not using computers?
We need a book. And Mark will point at the symbol that Dimitri drew for him. We need a book about ancient mythic languages, specifically angelic to ancient Christianity, possibly the language of Adam and Eve.
Little background, last time we used a computer at a library, what did we end up in jail or in a mental institution, Keegan?
What was that?
Last time we used a computer at a library, we ended up in jail, right?
Yeah, because B specifically said Pentex on an internet form in a library, and so they went after your dad.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, can you avoid saying bad things on a computer?
I think I can do that.
So, going through, we can get an intelligence investigation from highest person, plus 1 additional die for each person participating.
I've got 8 dice.
I have 4, but no investigation, so it's a higher diff.
I have 5.
Sounds like it's Dimitri.
Yeah, it looks like
Dimitri
it's
plus
me.
3, so
Alright, and then what was the difficulty?
I'm gonna go diff 7.
Diff 7, alright. 3 successes.
Alright, so there are several things you find. It seems that most middle-age Jewish contemporaries believe that Adam spoke Hebrew, something that Dante Alighieri also believed. However, John Locke believed that it was a unique language. Ethiopian and Eritrean traditions believe that the ancient language Gitz is the original language of Adam. And then there are volumes and volumes and volumes and volumes of Mormon quackery about how Adam spoke Kansan. But more importantly, though, to you find an ancient source in some of the older stuff in the library pointing to the work of one Rabu Aho, said to be written in the 90th century AD, that he posits that Adenian was a completely unique language and had written similar symbols similar to the ones that you have seen across the city. He specifically speaks on this in a greater piece of work that has unfortunately been destroyed at the Library of Alexandria. But there is one symbol that did survive in other writings about from Rabu Aho, who that show at least one of the symbols matching what you have read, and it was, and one of them is blood, and the other one is first city. This
Blood
takes you the
and
entire day in research, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Blood and first city. Does anyone have any idea of what that could mean?
Well,
Like the first human city?
my gut instinct is leeches, vampires. That's just off of blood and the weird symbol I see here. But first city, I don't know. They meant the first human city. What would that be?
If we go down that rabbit hole, I'm thinking Mesopotamia or something somewhere close to. But my first thought is first battle in the city that it's marked.
What do you mean?
That can be an intelligence occult difficulty 8 from the highest in the group.
Oh, not me. Thank God.
I think that might
from me.
I think I got 7. Yeah, I got 7. That's my.
This feels like something more appropriate for Mark to roll then. I don't think this is the kind of knowledge that Dimitri would have.
What's your number?
7.
Oh, okay. I thought you would have higher. Oh, hey, there we go. Nice.
All right. Given that this is related to biblical language, it seems likely that first city refers to the city of Enoch that Cain had gone to in the Bible.
Would werewolves just have the knowledge of Cain's connection to vampires? This is player talking.
I think you have heard, or at least William had heard of Roy heard some stuff about the first city and Cain from the vampires when they were mad at him, but I don't know if he ever revealed that to the rest of everyone else while he was willingly sacrificing the soul of his friend and saying he knew what was best for them when they're going to forge into a coin.
Yeah, I don't think he would have shared that.
You guys could always come back to the library tomorrow, but it is closing now.
Well, honestly, I was figuring we were like having this conversation as we were like leaving.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying you could always use the library's resources to make that connection.
I'll pose to the PAX. Should we present this to one of our allies that knows more about this stuff, possibly?
I don't see why we wouldn't withhold this information.
It's more not like withholding, just more like posing we try to find someone, and who that someone is, who would it be? We know a lot of people.
Just ask around at the Sept.
Certainly it's getting late, though. Probably someone isn't around now. Should wait till the morning. And I'd like to catch up. I haven't seen you guys in a while.
Well, Sven says hi, and has since moved again.
I heard about the raid on the green. That concerns me. Yes, about the raid for Sven, but the fervency they probably came after him with. There's probably some residual effects occurring, especially with the tumultuous nature of the Umbra these days. Worry about the spiritual health of the nation, but we've already got something in front of us. This could be something for later. But I'm glad Sven's doing well.
Definitely growing up to be a very intelligent boy.
Oh yeah? He's getting big?
Physically, yes. Emotionally, more so than us.
Oh, that just gives me hope that I can grow too.
Well, we never stop growing.
So it's the next day. You guys want to go back to the library and see if you can dig up any more information?
Could we try and talk to a third of either the Children of Gaia, or I would almost say the Glasswalkers might have some information as well. I'm trying to look on here.
I have a suggestion of someone we could look up, maybe a Silent Strider.
Sure, I guess. I'm just thinking those two, because I don't want to try and meta and say, oh, let's go to a Stargazer, but we also just don't have Stargazers in the Sept to talk to. Startouch might know. We could ask them. Right Master, Thurge.
Oh, the Right Master.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly more knowledgeable. Here, let's collect what we have and try to find them.
That sounds like a good plan.
Cora, will you join us?
Sure. I could Probably learned something.
So you see Star Touch. They are working to do some basic rites regarding some of the spirits here. They are doing this rite of spirit awakening on a few trees to give them water and to speak to them about their roots and the coming rites and when they will awaken next of their own volition. Well, once they finish up, they turn to see all of you kind of coming up to them in the Umbra.
Greetings, Sage.
Greetings, they say. How can I help you?
Right, Master, we don't mean to disturb, but we have a question about a symbol that Howls-In-Memory has been seeing across the city, and we'll show them the symbol.
They look at it, they kind of think on it. I recognize the symbol as a Denian, but at least from some ravings of some 1st century madman, from everything I read, while doing some of my own mystic research about some other things. All over the city, you say?
Yes, I've been seeing the symbols. They don't really seem to have a pattern per se as for location, but on houses, businesses, banks, fences, it's usually in very busy areas, and it's getting to the point that the homeless people are being blamed for the symbols. I tried to kind of find a scent trail, but couldn't. But I know that whatever paint they're using to make these symbols, it smells like blood.
Could it be leeches then?
I suppose that's one possibility, but I can't even guess of any reason why they would do something like this.
Why did they do anything? They tend to have long-reaching plans that take centuries to unfold. I doubt they think in ways we do.
Our research at the library, from what we could tell, the symbols that have been showing up mean blood and first city. Well, we figured Daean being a human mythical language, we look up mythicalness behind it all and found a connection between Cain and Enoch, but that's about it. The only connection I could feel is to vampires is the whole blood thing.
I've heard rumors that there is a vampire holy text regarding Cain. Nothing I've ever been proven, and that's been from kinfolk who were deep undercover within vampire organizations. Though I do know Cain has some sort of connection, at least in the myths of leeches.
Have the leeches in the city been making any moves recently, especially with all the chaos?
They've been leaving our kin alone as per the agreement, though they've been less inclined to speak to us directly anymore, sending their blood-touched creatures to talk on their behalf in daylight. But we do know that they still know who most of our kin are, and now that the government is going after terrorists or anyone who is not sympathetic to them, well, they've been able to leverage the state against our kin if they ever wanted to. We don't get the same benefits as they are a bit more cagey with their resources, and, well, much of their power is within institutions, and they've had centuries to change their identities on a whim and disappear into a crowd.
Well, if both sides have been keeping the agreement, I feel it wouldn't maybe be too far-fetched to request an audience just to satiate a curiosity, don't you, right, Master?
That is not my purview, guys the Fallen Rhea.
And I think that's what we must do then.
I would speak to the council to see if they can get you an audience.
Thank you. I appreciate this. God's blessings be upon you.
Alright, you have to wait a bit. The council are all doing their own things, essentially.
If we're waiting a bit, is Steven around?
Steven's back in the city, hanging out with the homeless.
I wanted to see if the bear was around. I wanted to shake his paw.
Oh, yeah, no. The bear never sleeps sometimes. You know, given how much he cares about the local homeless.
During this downtime, I just wanted to share the information regarding the slavery loophole with the rest of the group.
Okay.
That's awful. Why would they want to do that to themselves?
You mean the government wants to criminalize and then have free labor to fund their own war against a foreign country? Essentially making the states have no control over that aspect?
This is fueling the war against the nation in the east, then what of the Garu over there? The Stargazers that left the nation. If we just suffer our policies here, they probably do the same there. This saddens me.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
So you are greeted by the elders. Dawn Wormcharmer, Devin Binds the Darkness, who is the Grand Elder of the Karen, of course. Teresa Fate Dancer, and the Warden, or the Warder, also arrives, Howling King. What was it that you wished to ask us? We'd heard that you had been looking for us.
Yes, elders. Howls-In-Memory, in his outings in the city, has been seeing a peculiar sign, a symbol that is not of Garu origin, and it's just overall weird. We looked into it, and it's led us down a path of something we feel the vampires might know, and we wish to request an audience with them.
I see. We can certainly do that. The channels are a bit broken up, but we still have connections. Some of the kinfolk who had abandoned us and returned still had their contacts with some of the leeches. It'll take likely a week, if not more, to get in contact, but we'll let you know when it happens.
Of course, thank you. Until then, and Mark will present the symbol that they saw. This is the symbol that we have been seeing, and something in case you see out in your outings.
Thank you. So, after everything is said and done, it takes just over 9 days to get an audience and a meetup. The vampires will only meet in a very public restaurant, surrounded by people, fairly busy, but the loud noise will make it so that you're able to talk relatively openly because it'll just be hard for people to listen in. You are met by the new prince, Daniel Sandu, as well as what appears to be his companion or subordinate, Matthew Cohen. Gentlemen, ma'am. As Daniel takes Cora's hand and gives it a light kiss, as a gentleman, as he
Thanks.
marks, the check will be on us, thank you. Please order anything you like. I'm not quite that hungry, as he smiles.
Oh, we appreciate it, but we won't overstretch your meat.
Thank you. It is appreciated. Now, how can I help you?
I guess I will begin the story. I've come across some strange symbols in the city, and we did some research, and Dimitri will kind of, I guess, present like a small drawing of the symbol that he brought with him, and say, as far as we can tell, these two symbols mean blood and First City, and well, the trails seem to be taking us down a path that you might have some knowledge in.
Yes. That's legend stuff that is typically believed by some of our less agreeable counterparts. We are part of an organization that we like to call the Ivory Tower, and we tend to view that as just legend. Now, I believe that with the previous prince, the one who'd caused all the problems with you before, had a run-in with one of these, creatures, these ones from our sister sect, so to speak. They're known as the Sabbat, and they are religious fanatics. If these symbols are coming up, as we've noticed as well, we suspect the Sabbat are trying to operate in Colorado Springs, and we are more than willing to try and help you deal with them. We are no friends of the Sabbat.
Well, so far we've only seen the symbols. I don't think we've noticed any of this Sabbat's activity, but if you could give us hint, is there anything that we should be looking out for?
They worm their ways into various institutions. Some are very loud and open in their monstrous natures, while others tend to place themselves in subcultures to act high and mighty around people. Excuse us. Yes, and so I noticed my 401k was coming down, but I do tell you, as you're all fairly young, that now is the time to buy stocks rather than sell them off, as the waitress brings you guys your food and walks off again and is no longer in hearing range. But, all that being said, I would look around, maybe see if they're trying to continue their paint work. Perhaps you could notice a pattern. We've been trying, but we have other things to deal with. As you know, we are enmeshed in some of these cities' politics, and with the government trying to spy on everyone, it's best if we stay in our high places to make sure that their eyes don't fall on us or you.
No, of course. We'll help each other fill in the gaps.
Perfect. But the night, unfortunately, has to continue, and I must get going. I hope that helped and cleared some things up for you.
It did, thank you, and appreciate the beat-up. We know it's strange times.
Certainly. You're lucky. The Sabbat have a whole holy book talking about the moon beasts. I never bought into such legends. As he gets up and goes, and you guys get up and go as well after you complete your food, it seems something is happening in Colorado Springs. But what? Who's to say, really? I guess we'll have to find out next time. Thank you to everyone who listened. We'll catch you in that next episode. Bye.
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 Catch you then.
Bye.